Welcome to the Annie Jennings PR author and expert podcast series. My name is Stacey Emerald Kaufman. I'm the radio director for Annie's Big City #1 national radio campaign that includes a performance guarantee and unlimited media training. Annie Jennings also offers her famous performance publicity program with no monthly retainers for influential online media outlets and TV across the country. Our guest today is Susan Ibitz, a human behavior hacker. Susan runs humanbehaviorhackerschool.com, the only e-learning platform specializing in teaching human behavior. She teaches professionals, from sales reps to lawyers, how to read people like a book. So welcome, Susan.
Hi, thank you very much for having me today.
Why don't you tell us a little bit more about your business, humanbehaviorhackerschool.com, and the services that you provide?
Well, it's proven that you can learn the craft of certain things professionally. You can become the best doctor in the world, or you can become the other extreme, the best sales rep in the world. But if you don't have emotional IQ, if you don't have behavior, if you don't use science and how to better communicate and get to the people faster and more accurate, doesn't matter how good you are in your profession. You need to be related to others. So what we teach people is how to better communicate, use all that data that as human we project to others, and use that data to become a better communication, to become humans again. Most people have failed on their careers because they don't know how to communicate with their teams, their patients, or their clients.
And what about Human Behavior Hacker School is unique? Why is it the only e-learning platform specializing in this?
Because most people teach their own classes. Human Behavior Hacker School is a community of people doing behavior around the world. We have teachers from United States, Latin America, we have teachers for Europe, and everybody need to be invited. Why? Because they need to be doing things behavioral-wise. You're going to find another e-learnings when you're going to find somebody teaching you how to cook or refurnish a nightstand. That is not a problem. But when you need things specifically, when you need to go to the next level, knowing how behavior works, you need to go to a specific place. So we choose to be that specific place where you're only going to find things about behavior, from face reading to interrogation to hostile negotiation to negotiation and high levels to sales using behavior and science mix. So that's what makes this platform unique.
And Susan, what would you say the people that go to and use humanbehaviorschool.com get from working with you and get from taking these lessons and classes?
First of all, you can take the classes in your own time. It's proven that people sometimes is morning people or night people. For example, when I study at night, I retain more information. So when you have the classes online, you take it in your own time. Some people need to review the lessons more than one to retain information. When you are in a room and everybody going to a speed, you need to adapt to that speed. But what about if you're as intelligent as everybody else, but you need to repeat the lesson 3 or 4 times? It's happened to me. So when you have the chance to repeat the lesson as many times as you want, review it, pause it, do the exercise, and come back, you have a high number of possibilities to retain the information. Actually, it's proven that people who does online classes retain more information because they can repeat it. The good advice is to get a study buddy, somebody to take the classes with. The good point is that we have a Facebook group where you can share with other people about topics. We have open classes so people can talk to the trainers directly and go over the classes and repeat it. Again, repetition is the only way as an adult we fixate new information. We are not kids of 5 or 10 years old anymore. We're over 20, so we need another pedagogic way to incorporate new information.
And who would you say is your ideal client, and how do you help them achieve what they're wanting to achieve?
When people ask me who can use your service, I say, who doesn't? from people who want to date to the right person because they understand that the other people is not trying to drive you crazy. Their preference and their brain is wired different, to people who want to achieve high sales numbers. It's usually taking almost 90 days to get rapport with a client because until you don't understand that person. What about if you can profile that person and know what they want in 90 seconds? That is one of the biggest feedback that I have from my clients. You help my team to be more productive, to reading people faster, so now that we can have more clients, be making more profit because we can accommodate more clients on the time. If you're a lawyer and you want to know first if your client is lying, nobody want to lose because your client is lying. So to know what, review a statement. When you take in the positions, 79% of the doctors are sued not because they did something wrong, is because they communicate with the patient and the way the patient didn't need to receive the information was a breach on communication. So if I can understand how you process information and I can use that way, not the way I want it and see it, the way you want it and see it, can you imagine how life simple will be?
Yeah, I mean, that's extremely valuable information, Susan. Do you have something that you can leave us with, like a little secret or a tip, a tell, so to speak, where you can see if someone maybe isn't being truthful, or, just a sort of, just a tip on how you can read somebody when you first look at them?
We are doing a series of breaking myths and body language. And one of the myths that is the most, I would say, danger is when they say, mirror everything the person in front of you is doing. What about if the person is doing something that is negative? Only quick thing. People who's born blind and sighted, they have the same micro-expression and body language expression when they have feelings, positive or negative. So that means it's encoded in our brain. So if you're mirroring an expression that you think is a smile and actually is a contempt, who is bored or like I'm rejecting you and you do it, the other person is going to read it. So the best way to mirror someone, make me a question, any question, and I'm going to show you how it's done.
Susan, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is black. Did you see what I did? I used the last part of your questions in my answer. Most people where it says, I wear black. No, my favorite color is black. Or black is my favorite color. So mirroring words on the key point of the conversation in the phone, in the email, or in person, not only is safer, you can mirror someone when you're in person, but in the phone or in the email, how are you going to do that? That is one of the biggest myths they teach you when you're growing and you're going to school. That is wrong. And people make a lot of mistakes or following that. And people is teaching things they don't know because they just read a book.
Oh, fascinating, Susan. Thank you so much. That's really interesting. And I know, of course, you've got so many other great secrets and tips and tricks for people to learn human behavior to better their lives in all different areas. So make sure you check out Susan Ibitz and the Human Behavior Hacker School online at humanbehaviorhackerschool.com. Susan, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for the invite.
And thank you all for listening to this podcast brought to you by AnnieJenningsPR.com. Till next time.